I pity the fool who goes up against Guts, because the fire is burning in his heart and he has one thing in mind: rescue his beloved Casca. So all heck is breaking loose right now. We have a conflagration of the demon hordes, of the heretics, of the heretic hunters. You know how I despise them. And to a degree, the villagers as well. And let's not forget that Guts is on his way. But danger lurks everywhere, and especially for Guts' beloved Casca. I really worry about Casca, and I even worry about her so-called friend. What's her name?
Nina.
Her so-called friend, Nina. Nina is her friend, and we see that because in the midst of all this turmoil, she does think about Casca, saying to her, in essence, let's scram. Let's get out of here. There's nothing, they're trying to kill me, and I don't know what they're going to do with you, but nothing good is going to come out of this. Something interesting happens, though, which I wanted to discuss with all the audience. There's a revelation or a revealing of the branding that Casca has. And people are frightened, and some are elated. And it would appear that the heretics are somewhat elated because they want to elevate her as at least queen for a day, as they would have said in the 1960s. They carry her off on her own personal chair, carried by a few of the heretic men. So they think of her as rather special. However, they're going to sacrifice her friend, Nina. That's unfortunate, because I'm warming up to Nina. And I don't mean warming up because it looks like she's headed for a burning stake. I mean warming up to her because I think her better angels are having their way with her instead of the demon forces that are behind everyone. Man, oh man, in this world, the demons seem to be running amok and in control. Very much contrary to my personal beliefs. But I'm reading a book, so the author gets to write what he wants to write. So, as I said, there's a conflagration going on, and Guts is on his way, but right now there's a lot of danger, and I worry for Casca because who knows what's going to happen to her. They put a crown of thorns on her head. They're usually meant for sacrifice. And in fact, it looks like that's where she headed. Now, one of the questions I have, who is Goat Boy? Now, I'm of the opinion that the Goat Boy we're seeing now, who's trying to flee to the mountain and his horns get stuck in the crevices, that this Goat Boy, is only symbolic of the Goat Man who is coming. Crystal's of the opinion that he transforms with a lot of the other demons into Goat Man. From Goat Boy, who seems to be fleeing, to Goat Man who wants to devour. All I can say about Goat Man is he'll slice up just as easily as anyone else from Guts. And it doesn't matter if he uses the sharp end or the dull end of his sword blade. He'll be halved. But that's what's happening now. And the demonic forces, again, are giving me lots of questions. I don't believe demonic forces want to divide their interests. And yet that seems to be what's happening. We've got the demonic forces that seem to want to protect Casca. It seems like that to me. Maybe headed by Griffith. Did I say his name? Apologies. The heretic men are walking off or running off now, but they have their staff with the bird on top, which seems to be symbolic of Bird Boy, whose name will not be mentioned again. Not in this video anyway. So again, who's on whose side? You know, Jesus famously said that a house divided cannot stand. And this house seems to be divided. But maybe it's only seemingly divided from those of us, including, let's say, the villagers, who don't know the other side of the story yet. And I admit, I don't know the other side of the story. I'm only barely into book 7. But it seems right now as a house divided. We got some demonic forces trying to protect Casca, others trying to kill villagers, others behind an attack on the heretics, and others that seem to be attacking even Easter Island Man and his groupies. Why all the division? I don't know. I do not know, but I will say this simply, that I don't think they're going to end up being divided. I think that they have their plan. I personally believe that did I say his name again? Apologies. That Birdman, now part of the God Hand, seems to be top dog. Yeah, let's call him dog. He seems to be top dog. And maybe it's what he wants that goes. And if he wants to save Guts' beloved Casca, that's what he wants to do. If he's going to divide his forces to do so, well, that's within his purview to do as well. But I'm looking forward to seeing it come to a head and see what's going to happen. Now, by coming to a head, I just mean in this particular arc. We're not anywhere near the end. I've got something like 47 big books to read through still. So we're only partially through it at book 7. So what's going to happen next? Well, I do not know. But I pity the fool who goes up against Guts, because he's going to slash his way and get to Casca. And in the meantime, I believe he's going to save Nina and my little shyster friend, who I am so proud of. So now we come up to the new question, a question that has perplexed me. What about Casca's son, Casca and Guts' son, who has been clearly influenced by Bird Boy? Yeah, that's all he gets. Clearly, Bird Boy had his influence in his grape scene having to do with Casca. Okay, I get that. But whose side is he on? I believe, at this point, here's a prediction, that he's ultimately on the side of Guts and Casca, because the evidence seems to suggest that he is, in fact, on the side of Guts and Casca. He set up the whole scenario. He said to Guts, hey, what about Casca? You deserted her 2 years ago. Maybe it's time to check her out because I think she's in trouble. And off he goes to the rescue. Thank goodness again. But he clearly has a way with the demonic horde too, so he's been influenced. So where do we go with this? Well, maybe a prediction? If at the end of this whole storyline, which I should be done around 2055, I suggest. If at the end there is redemption for characters, full redemption, I mean removal of brands and harmony to set in and all that sort of jazz, we're still left with the question, what about Little Demon Boy? My prediction is he'll be redeemed at the end, and he'll actually become a son, a real son. And if that's not the case, he'll somehow die sacrificially protecting his mother and father, not in league with Bird Boy. That's my prediction. But you know, as I like to say, I'm no prophet, nor am I the son of a prophet. So who knows? I could be all wet. But I still pity the man who would try to go up against Guts right now, because the fire is burning in his heart and he has one thing in mind: rescue his beloved Casca. If you'd be so kind to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. And we love hearing from you. Crystal loves hearing from you, and she shares some of them that she can't share with me. I'd love to hear from you too. Now it's official. Goodbye.